is agency a process? Is agency an outcome? Or is agency something that is still a combination of processes and a combination of outcomes?
How would you recognize that we have really gotten to the truth of agency as a lever of development impact?
Okay, there were now complaints being raised about this kind of service. People are actually saying enough is enough. This is not what I'm entitled to. I'm entitled to more. And if I'm not given this service, I can make a complaint about it, and that complaint would be acted upon. I think if we're reaching there, the grievance redressal mechanisms get functional, start working. I think that's an early sign of success, that there's an agency that's at least some agency in terms of demand that's created. Now, how does that roll out into further aspects? I think we'll have to wait for thinking about some of the causal chain linkages and how the program's rolling out. We've had this discussion within our own local team also, and I can see the growth that my local team is having. And it's not necessarily just me. It's like, the space for discussion, the space for thoughts, the space for idea exchange of ideas, and the space for actually prioritizing what you are talking about as a local researcher or as a local implementer, and trying to bring that in, feels very there is a certain kind of empowerment's a strong word, but there's certain kind of thing that you want to belong to the consortium about, and you feel that you are getting a lot more of experience, your voice is being heard, and your priorities are also kind of thought through. What does local mean? Now, for me, I've been thinking about it because I have a local team of researchers also, right? They sometimes don't have the same platform or the same interface with the bigger consortium because they're working. Now, that's something that I think would be interesting to see, maybe for all of you next year, as not interviewing us, but that local team, in saying how were we able to make a difference in their agency, at least towards the research work and things like that. See, I think the challenges have also been there. Sometimes frustrations around timelines, and it's not like in our case, it's actually quite interesting. We've been waiting for permissions and approvals for a while, and we want to push the research out. I think all of us have kind of acknowledged, but are still it is a big challenge, is that for me, the permissions for just to roll out one of the studies is for all of us, in fact, were like a set of are actually a set of 7 permissions and approvals, which involves the local governments also. So I think that kind of sometimes derails our processes also. It's not internal only to the consortium, the challenge there is an external thing. Internally, I think they're also, because styling, writing styles are different, research thinkings are different. IRBs, in fact, think differently in different places, right? So I took an local IRB and I have a UCSD IRB. Now it's not to say that they were absolutely, I mean, for us, the UCSD IRB was an easier experience because we went through UCSD and they just wanted that the local IRBs just give us permissions. In terms of timelines, I think the core ones to me have given us quite space still. We've been wanting to push for a few things to start because our organizational culture is we want to start work, we want to start data collection and things like that. That expectation sometimes has produced friction and produced some kind of some challenges in terms of this. So those were the buy-in challenges that we have. I think the rest of it, in terms of collaboration, it's been, even at a local end for us and the local implementing partners, I think there is a relationship that was there before agency, so that's kind of carried over. There's not any friction, I think, or both of us try and be in each other's shoe and understand. Our local collaborations have really been, I feel, quite a success in this, even though there's not much work that has happened. but there's not been, everybody knows what's happening, and that's kind of, I think, important in a thing, to know where you're coming from, and what are the reasons for the delay, and what are the challenges you're facing, and just having a platform to talk about it. Like, try to, means, it's a kind of empathy in which you are putting yourself in other people's lives also, and trying to understand. So, like, what do you call, like, making I'm thinking, like, in